Hey, it's Panzerkunst here, back with some more World of Warplanes, and I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks using the mini-map and also the tap screen, so you can see where your enemies are at the beginning of the battle, and also during the battle if you kind of don't know where they are, you can just use the attack bots, and it will show you who they are even if they're pretty far away. So I'm going to play a few battles, and hopefully I can get some good examples up to show you here. Let's go ahead and move right on to that. Alright, so in this battle, it's 2 command centers and a mining plant and then 2 garrisons. So it's a pretty good example actually because the enemies have a specialized B-32, a P-51, and the tier 6 heavy. So obviously you get more out of this when you're a heavy fighter because you get to find out where bombers or GA are headed. But in this case, the enemies are going to spawn here. So it's a question. Is the B-32 going to bomb this first, or is he going to make his way all the way over here? And that could determine where you would go next. So I think I'm not super fast in this, so I'm going to go in our command center. But I'm going to look to see what is being capped, and then you could figure out where the B-32 is headed.
Pilots, get ready for action. Let's go.
So at the beginning of the battle, you see all of the bases are neutral. When the enemies start attacking them, they're going to turn red. And then all you do is you look to see who has points, and that means they're in that sector. So nothing is happening yet. It's still kind of blank, so I'll make some attacks here. But I'm trying to keep an eye on the mini-map, because that's what I really want to show. Okay, this is capped, and the bomber has capped something, so he's probably at the command center. So right away you know we have a bomber at the command center, and this is gonna leave ours open. So if I was in a jet, I would know right away where the B-32 is without even having to guess, and that can determine what kind of strategy you want to use in the battle. I know the B-32 is super slow, so I know I have a lot of time to protect the mining plant. So if you do this to a lot of your games, see what is being capped and then look at which enemies have personal points, and you can see exactly where they are. And sure enough, this is probably the B-32 right here, coming from the command center. So let's go ahead and say hello to him really quick. Or actually the A26 is a little closer. And I'm just playing this a little bit out just so you can see the kind of impact. Okay, there's a fighter behind me. Big mistake. Now when there's something behind you, at the very least I want to get out of the sector so he can't kill me in there. And he's pretty fast himself, and I'm out of boost, so I won't be able to fully break away, but I'm okay with that because I'm getting his attention away from something. So I'll die here, but that was one way you can use the mini-map to see where your enemies are. Alright, so I'm in the tier 7 Meteor. We have a tier 8 Spitfire, a tier 7 multi-roll, 2 tier 7 multi-rolls, and a fighter. What I want to do is try to spot these guys from far away. So the Killer, Corsair, and Alejandro. So right off the bat, you kind of decide where you want to go, right? I'm going to say I'm going to go to the command center. So most likely they're going to be going here. But they can also make their way over here, maybe the military base. So let's just look at the mini-map. I'm just gonna do this for the sake of demonstrating it. Whatever is capped first, whoever is gonna be getting personal points, that means we know they're there. So it looks like there's some enemies here, and no one has really done anything. Alright, so we have the multi-roll here. So nothing has been capped here, so all these guys, you know, are not there. They're mostly all here. So by taking that information, you know you're gonna have a tough fight, and by not paying attention, I let this guy go past me almost. There's a fighter, and it's the Yak 3. I would like him to come straight at me because he's so fragile. Just like I said. Okay, so now let's say we want to try to find where the Corsair is. I see there's a multi-role symbol. Press F4. Okay, then I know it's not him. What about this one down here? I don't see the name. What's that? I know it's not him. So right away, I know that there isn't 2 players in here. There's only 1. So I can be a little bit more flexible. When you can't see the name, just hit F4 and it tells you the name right away, even though you're far away out of the render range. And you see this Spitfire? He's making a play on me. But he doesn't know my heavy. I called my heavy on him. So as of right now, there's no real sign of the German multi-role. And he's barely done anything. So I can just kind of say he's a kind of a non-factor already. But at the beginning of the map, I mean the beginning of the game, you saw that the garrison wasn't being capped by anyone. They were all in other places. So right away, just click in your head, okay, the command center is going to be a battle. Prepare for it. Don't just go in there blindly and let someone slot in on your tail while you're shooting some GA. You know, you're most vulnerable when you're shooting something. And I can guarantee you, the majority of the time someone kills you, just like right now, is when you're in the sniper view and you're not looking around you. So for example, that fighter, what is it? Push F4 and boom, it tells you it's the Yak. And let's see if I can light him on fire again. So it's not something that's like super useful, but if you're going into a sector and you want to know like, hey, is there a human in here or not? I see a fighter, but I don't see the name. Hit F4 at the earliest time that you can, and it will tell you who it is. So this will conclude my little tips and tricks for this one, and I'll continue this battle and see what I can do. Alright, so same idea here. I'm in the BF-109G, and I'm gonna go ahead and attack our airfield here.
Let's go.
But as you see, the enemy has a tier 8 Spitfire and a tier 7 Zero. So if I see that maybe the Spitfire is here, because I can tell by he's capping this and I can see he has points, I know I'm going to have to deal with him. But if I see both of them are over here, this is being capped, then I know I'm a little safe. So let's see how it plays out, and if I can notice it in time. If these 88 don't give me too much trouble. Okay, so no one has done anything yet. Not what I want to see. Okay, the Spitfire has done some damage, and only here and here he can possibly be. Nothing has been capped here. So I'm guessing the Spitfire is at the garrison here on their side. So that's just good information to know. I know, hey, if I see a light fighter coming from that way, odds are it could be the Spitfire, and I'm going to need to watch out for that, because not only can he outturn me very easily, and is that him over there? Fair enough. So my prediction was right. So that kind of signals I have to be very careful now, because one mistake against him and one mistake against that Spitfire, even though I think I'm faster, he still has enough juice to catch me if I make a mistake. And he's capping. I don't want to go down there with him yet, and I have this multi-role coming back for me. So if I didn't look at the mini-map, I would know that there's a, you know, I could easily look and see there's a fighter there, but I knew ahead of time, and I hate when they do this. They just dive. I still have to deal with the multi-role behind me. Ah, man. So that's a pretty horrible start, because this is supposed to be our airfield. We're supposed to get it, and the enemies got theirs very easily. And as you see, I almost had this cap and now they're gonna get it. So not looking good, but as you can see, using those few the informations you can get at the beginning of the battle, you can kind of see where the enemies are and where they're going to. So that battle that I was just in, we ended up winning it, and you can see the enemy had 777, we only had 741. So how the heck did we win it? But because they had such an advantage at the start, I had to look. I mean, I look how many capture points I had. 740. That's more than the two humans combined. He had 440, and the other one had 180. So that comes out to 620, and I did 740, and I had to capture 4 sectors. And you can see a lot of that is just attacking. I didn't even get a chance to defend. And games like that are rare because they went out to a lead, but little by little we got each sector back. And then when Squall Line came, a lot of the bots died, and so they weren't really gaining anymore. I wasn't worried about losing the few garrisons that we had because their bots were being picked off one by one, and I was racing to cap the last sector just so they wouldn't be able to accrue any more points. But because so many of them had died, we were able to kill the last remaining enemy, and that's how we won. And we only had like 30 seconds left before we would have lost because they get 3 points every 5 seconds. So pretty close game there. It didn't look good at the beginning, but our team managed to come through, and this is just the key right here: capture points. Whenever you lose, look at how many capture points you did. How many sectors did you get? Because the odds are someone on the other team did more than you. So that's it for this one. I'll try to make a little quick video here just to give you some tips on the minimap, and I hope those can help some of you out. Peace.